Lucid Trading. Let's talk about it. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow on the 28th. It's going to launch their newest Lucid Flex program. Now, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about why things I like about it. We're going to talk about the things I don't like about it. And if you find any of that information useful in this video and you sign up for an account, you can use my affiliate code. It's TMFUSA, and that will give you the same deal that everyone else gets, but I'll just give a little 10% because I ain't making money from YouTube. So check them out. Now, Lucid has been teasing this all week long. Lucid Flex. What does that mean? What is that even going to be? I don't know. Let's have a look because they did launch it yesterday. They came out with it. This is the plan. Lucid Flex promo pricing, 60 bucks, 78 bucks. The pricing is in line with all of their competitors. So that's really in line with everything. This is valid through the 3rd of December, blah, blah, blah. Now, what does that mean compared to their current plans? I was excited because I thought they were going to really challenge Take Profit Trader with this. Turns out they are not challenging Take Profit Trader in the least bit. They're actually targeting Top Step with this account. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's just look at the deals, right? You've got a let's just say the 50K here, 78 bucks, no activation fee, profit target 3,000, max loss limit 2,000. End of day drawdown, 50% consistency. That is important because that means it's no longer a 1-day pass. It's now a 2 to 3-day pass evaluation account. And then no consistency in funded. Now, things that they don't put on this is that there are other rule changes that while you get excited about them as a trader, they're really there not to help you make money at all. And they're really there to help them make money. They make money by you buying these accounts. Got to keep in mind, whenever a company puts out a no activation fee, they're getting it up front. That's all they're doing. They're getting all of the money up front for the eval plus the funded, period. So it's not there. It seems like a benefit, but really, if you were buying $18 Apex accounts and blowing them up constantly, instead of buying $100 Apex accounts and blowing them up constantly, Apex would just get their money up front, just like Lucid is getting their money up front. So, what are the rule changes that make you more susceptible to blowing this account? Once you pass this Flex account, you now have no consistency. You can make as much money as you want any day of the week. It doesn't matter. And that's fantastic. That's a positive. Now, you still have to trade 5 trading days. That doesn't change. I don't love that because if you're not going to have a consistency rule, we don't need 5 trading days. That rule is there so that you maybe have FOMO and end up over trading and blowing the account anyway. It's the only reason to have 5 trading days, 0 other reason to have it. So that stays there. The number of trading days is usually tied to the consistency. So if you have a 30% consistency, it's going to require you to trade 4 days just to get to a payout stage. If you have a 25%, 4 days. If you have a 20%, 5 days. It just is simple math. So by having no consistency and making you wait 5 days, the odds are against you that you're going to make it to payout. The next thing that they did is they said, we're going to allow you to draw down into the buffer. So if your profit target is 3,000 and you're sitting right there at that buffer and you got a $3,000 buffer, you can withdraw into that buffer, like pretty much the whole thing, which is going to leave your account with very little money. But people look at it as a risk to reward. If I spend $81 and I take 3 days to pass it, plus another 5 days to get it funded, let's just say it's 10 days to make $1,500, they find that acceptable as an acceptable win, right? You paid 81, you made 1,500. And I'm saying 1,500 because that's the other rule that's in here that doesn't help you, which is you can only get 50% of your payout. So 50% of your profits. That's different because the other accounts are 90% or 100% up to a certain amount, but the Flex accounts are 50%. So if you make 3,000, you can withdraw 1,500. That's not there to help you. That's there so that they can limit the amount of money they pay out. So the rules, while they seem exciting to the trader, are really there just to help the prop firm keep more money in their pocket than they would normally pay out. And I say that because if we go over here to the current ones that we see here on the Lucid test account, we go to the 50K or the 25 or the 100, we have pretty much the same rule set, end of day drawdown. We do have a daily loss limit. I don't love the daily loss limit, but I understand its purpose. And I'm going to get into that in a minute as to why I believe that these 25s are the best way to go. Everything else is kind of the same. You're going to have a consistency rule in this account, but who cares? Because if you're going to YOLO the account anyway, you might as well just keep YOLOing it and make a bunch of money. You get far away from the buffer. Consistency really doesn't matter. If you get far away from the buffer, from the floor, and you make $1,000 one day and 4,000 another day and 5,000 another day, that consistency rule is going to even out as long as you just keep making money. Where it screws you is if you don't keep making money, you start losing money, it's going to be harder and harder to get paid. But that's pretty much every account. So I don't really hate that idea. You can withdraw more, but you do have to be above the buffer. So I do think this is still a better overall deal. One-time payment. I think it's a better deal than the flex. I think you're going to be less likely to blow up your account having a little bit of discipline imposed upon you versus taking some of the discipline away and encouraging you to chase a higher profit target. Because let's just say I buy one of each of these accounts, one of each, one flex and one regular Lucid test account, and I trade them exactly the same way. I copy trade them. I copy trade them the same way. And I hit both of them hit profit targets of, let's just say $4,000 on a 50K account. I hit 4 grand on both of them and I have to trade 5 days. And because I made 4 grand, I'm pretty much going to be stuck with inconsistency unless I made 3,800 one day and then just, $50 every other day, which is less likely to happen. Could happen, but less likely. Let's just say 4,000. I'm going to get paid more out of the 50K test than I will out of the flex account. Even though you can withdraw into the buffer on the flex, you're going to get paid more out of one than you will the other. It's overall a better deal. Now, if they didn't have that 50%, I'd be all for it. It's a much better deal. And they didn't have the 5 trading days. Now we're basically challenging Top Step. Fantastic platform, or not Top Step, Take Profit Trader. Fantastic platform to challenge. So we don't. Now, I'm going to talk about one last thing before I get off of this, and that is why I think that these larger accounts, these 100K tests, 50K tests, 150s, are realistically unnecessary. I say that because I look at this from a simple trading standpoint. Let's say we have a 25 and a 50K, and a lot of people buy these 50K accounts. 50K accounts are basically like trading $2,000 in a cash account. You got 2 grand drawdown. That's it. Now, what makes this one even more different is this DLL, this daily loss limit of 1,200 that you have sitting right here. So if I have a 25K, my max loss is 1,000, and out of 50K, my max loss is realistically 1,200 because it's a daily loss limit. At 1,200, they're going to cut you off, and then you're only 800 to the floor, and you're not making it back today, which means you have to try and make it back tomorrow. You're going to lose a whole day. Kind of sucks, right? Daily loss limits kind of suck because even let's say you're even holding a trade that went down a good chunk and you're over leveraged because you took too many because you had a 50K and you think you can do that and you can't. Your leverage is exactly the same. From a 50K to a 25K, it's exact same leverage because at $1,000, that account's gone, and at $1,200, that 50K test is done for the day. You might as well buy 25K. There's no daily loss limit. Why does that matter? Because once I pass it and I get into a funded account, I can make as much money as I want, and I will never have a daily loss limit. That is crazy important, right? The DLL is only on 25K. People chase these things for these big old profit targets. I'm going to get 100K, I'm going to make 50 grand. You're not. You're probably not going to do that. But you can make good money on 25Ks. Just do it. You take a little less risk and you're less likely to blow the account up. You get 2 minis, 20 micros. You can make good money on 20 micros. You can make good money on 2 minis. Let's talk about simple math. This is simple math. $1,250 in profit is 5, let's just say 6 10-point trades on one NQ contract. If you want to take NQ, that is 6 10-point moves. I have to do 3 times that to get paid 50K. 3 times that. So I got to take 3 contracts or 2 contracts, more moves. I have to take so much more leverage to get there than doing the 25K. So just stick with the smaller account size. You can trade 5 MNQs. 5 MNQs make good money. They move, especially in the volatile markets that we have. So the 25K accounts, those are butter. Everything here seems like it's worse for you, but it's really worse for them. This is a better deal for you. Better deal. It's a little bit less expensive, not much, but a little bit less. Your payout caps on here are a little bit different. So we do have to understand that the payout cap is not the same as the 50K, but that's okay. That's all right. You can keep buying them. They move you get 6 payouts with Lucid. They move you to a live account. You just keep going. The name of the game is not how many different firms can I get all this money from and copy trade a bunch of accounts. The name of the game is how can I spend the least amount of money to generate me long-term sustainable income? Think about that. It's not about having 20 Apex accounts that you trade over and over again, and you maybe make a bunch of money and hopefully you don't break any rules and blow some accounts. Let's just say you bought one of these at $66 and you traded it for a while and you got $4,000 in payouts over that would take you a month. Let's just say if you're a good trader, that would take you 1 month. You could get $4,000 from them. You buy another account. Now you have two. And then this one here, the first one, you get 6 payouts, two more payouts, and they move you to a live. It doesn't cost you anything. And you still trade the other one. Now you're doubling down on that. And it's costing you nothing out of pocket. Your money, your initial investment is very little. You have got to consider that because so many influencers in this space constantly buy evals. They blow them up constantly. I've made a video about it and it's real money. If every day you bought 5 of these accounts, let's just say 550Ks, 5 times 81, that's $410 a day. I've watched guys blow 5 evals a day, 10 evals a day. That's $400, $500, $600 of cash money a day to get a funded account. And now we got to wait 5 more days. Everything is time, leverage, risk. Put in a little bit of money, have patience, build it up until you get paid. And I'll show you my live account right now. Here we go. This is my live Lucid account right here. Account details, days trade 5. So far, we've got 5 days, 5 green days. Beautiful, right? Absolutely perfect. $60, $60, 150, 150, 300. We look at our account summary here, our Lucid Pro. We're at 41% consistency, and that is completely okay. You know why? Because I still have more money to make. And when I make another $150, that won't matter. For me, the 30% consistency was based on a $1,500 profit target, $300 a day, make $300 a day. And I've taken such little risk just trading micros. Most of those trades are 2 micros, 3 micros. That's all it takes. Make a little bit of money every day and stack them up. And then eventually you can buy more of them if you want, but you can just sit here and keep trading this. You could do this every day. You get far away from the floor and it's going to be real easy to make that money. Real easy. So if you found any of this information useful, I'm going to talk about some other accounts in a different video, but this one specifically because of Lucid. I do like the platform. They have a lot of benefits. It is quick. Everything you do with them is fast. You buy an account, that's fast. You get to trading, that's quick. The dashboard updates within like 5 or 10 minutes throughout the whole day, real time updates. So it means if you pass the account, let's say you buy an account and you pass it at morning open, 10 o'clock, you can activate that account at like 10:15. Keep going on a funded account. Almost nobody else does that. They're going to make you wait an entire trading day just to activate that. And you miss out on, possible momentum of the day or whatever. You miss out. So I love that. Everything is quick. Everyone that has gotten payouts says their payout process is super fast. They get paid within 15, 20 minutes of requesting payouts, not days later. And you can just keep going. I love it. I love all of that. Like I said, there's only a couple negatives that I don't love. And that is really just in terms of a little bit of the account switcheroos on the rules. And that also goes in for like the direct to funded accounts. I didn't even mention the direct to funded, but we can. can mention them right here. The only thing that I don't do with direct to funded, 238 bucks, one-time payment. So it's 3 times the cost of doing the test account. Um, Loss limit here on the 25K is still 1,000. There's no DLL, end of day drawdown. Lucid DLL above initial trail is none. Consistency rule here, that moves to 20%. Don't love 20%. That's low. Don't love it. Don't love it. And then the other kick in the balls right here, minimum days to payout is now 8 instead of 5. So 8 days to payout, 20% consistency. You might as well just take the test account if you can pass it in 1 day, and you can. It's not really that complicated on a 25K to get there in 1 day. You might as well do that. Everything that they do is just a small little trap. Just remember that. And if you can find what the trap is, and you can find a way around it. And that'll help you decide which accounts are the best for you, which prop firm is the best for you and your trading style. So if you found any of this useful, use the code TMF. I'll put a link down below into the description of this video, and I'll see you at the market.